Have you ever been 15 minutes into a meeting and suddenly you're like, wait a minute, this could all be done in an email. Why are we here? Hey, this agenda is all I need to do all this stuff. I'm gonna zoom out and do my emails. It's happened, like it happens to all of us, but don't let it happen in your staff meetings. When you are in person, you have to protect that time. You cannot let it be a time to zoom out. We don't have enough in-person time these days, so when we have it, we need to use it the best that we possibly can to build culture, relationships, and expertise. Welcome to PBL Simplified for Leaders, where we take your vision off the paper and move it into your school. I'm going to help distill leadership ideas from education, business, and sports so that you can up your leadership game and be the leader your building needs you to be. Today, we're talking about how we connect in person. It's so important. It's difficult to do. So when we get the opportunity, we need to make sure we take advantage of it. When do you have the most in-person time? I'm going to walk through conferences with you and your staff meetings, two very important times. Magnify Learning, we do 2 conferences a year where we are in person. And when we do that, they're set up so that you and your leadership team can plan out your 3 years of PBL implementation. So if you're thinking about bringing project-based learning to your school, hopefully at this point, if you've been anywhere around the PBL leadership series, you know that it's not a one and done thing, right? You don't just think about it for a day, launch it out, say, hey, everybody, we're doing PBL. It's going to be great. If that's your plan, that's not really a plan, right? So we bring people together from all over the country with their teams, a leadership team, so maybe a principal and a group of 5, whatever your leadership team looks like, we bring you together and we walk you through the steps. And of course, we do it in our fashion. So there's culture building for you and your team. There's going to be immediate applicability of the work. So you're working on your plan right now that you can implement, not some other time, because there is no other time, right? That's not a real thing. So you're creating it right now in time so that it can immediately be applied. And then you're going to collaborate and innovate with those that are around you so that you can tune and make sure it's the best possible plan for your local context. We do that over 2 days. Because if you're in person, you cannot waste that time. So if you're going to be in person with people from around the country, why wouldn't you get ideas from those people around the country? That's the biggest theme of today's video, is don't waste your in-person time with things that could be done in an email. Because your second place for in-person is your staff meeting. And when you get your staff meeting time, sometimes it's overwhelming, right? You have the whole staff, they're diverse. What should we do? Just give them time in their rooms. That's what they really need. It's probably not what they really need. Could they use it? Could they use the organization? Of course. But now they're just going to be isolated again. We don't need more isolation. You need more teamwork and collaboration. So what do you do when your group's together? Put them together in their teams. Maybe by content area, maybe by grade level. Mix them up so they're not in their teams, right? Separate them out. Come up with different ideas. Maybe they're going to brainstorm PBL unit ideas. Maybe you've come up with the top 3 pieces of dissonance that are happening in your building right now, and you put everybody in small groups just to think about those ideas. The collaboration is really, really important. Maybe you run compass protocols. Maybe you run some kind of personality test, right? Together. You can't do that separately. You can't do that in your own room. When you're together, cherish that time and think about it. Set aside some time for the agenda. If you're coming up with that staff agenda the night before, you are not doing it right. That time's way too important. If you're not sure what to do, send me an email. I'd be happy to collaborate with you because it's literally that important. If you're with us and you have a PBL coach, ask your coach, what do people do when they're together, right? It's not necessarily an easy thing. You could look at data, like there's just a million things you could do, but don't waste the time and don't just do it for announcements, right? If it can be announced, then it can just be put into an email. Yeah, I'll give you one other idea. Just celebrate. Like celebrate something. Maybe second grade ran their first PBL unit and it was wonderful. Have them come up and talk about it. Have some of the learners come in. Another favorite move of mine, bring in some of your seniors. If you're a middle school, let's say, or an elementary, bring some seniors that are doing really, really well that weren't doing so well when they were with your teachers. Have them come back and tell some stories. Have them come back and thank their teachers, right? Build your team up. But if you are in person, please, please cherish that time. Use it well. It doesn't happen that often. So you can come to one of our conferences if you want to come and plan some really great work over the next 3 years, wherever you're at in your PBL journey. Like, we're going to innovate with you, right? And it's going to be 100% customized to you and what you need. The second thing is those staff meetings. Bring some of your lead teachers together if you need to. Let your leadership team work on that and chew on that, but do not waste that time with things that could be done in an email. Cherish that time together. Use it well to build collaboration, to build culture, to build expertise. Because when you do that, you're going to see your vision come to life. You're going to see momentum start going for you instead of against you. And then your whole team is working to engage your learners, tackle boredom, and transform your classrooms. Go lead inspired.